Technology has improved drastically in the past 20 years. In that time, bricks have turned into cell phones, the library has become digitized, and the world has become one neighborhood. According to the law of accelerating returns, in the 21st century, the world will experience 20,000 years of technological growth. That growth will benefit the human race as a whole. However, it will end up taking a crucial part in what being human is. The social repercussions will not be easily pacified. While some may say that technology is not impairing social interaction, the negative change in lifestyle is difficult to refute. In the next several minutes, we will go through how technology has not been adapted to and some of the consequences that follow. Everyone in this room is a part of society. Therefore, we need to work together in order to advance the goals of the human race. The world is a long way from working together, but it starts with being able to communicate with each other. I'm aware that I contribute to the problem as well. I use technology too much. I probably use it just as much as everyone else. Recently, I've gotten acquainted with Walking Dead. Let me tell you how much homework I haven't done watching that show.
It's a good show.
That's a joke, mostly.
Right.
The point is, I don't have a healthy balance. It's hard to. We all need to. Balance was lost at the start of the technological era. Innovation after innovation, our behavior has not caught up with what it should be. That is apparent by studying history. A great example of this is the Industrial Revolution that happened in 1820. Prior to it, many products were made at home by the hands of anyone who had the desire to. Everything changed when machines were built that could efficiently produce products in mass quantities. The revolution led to a harsh lifestyle for many people. Because the factory workers did not receive good wages, many were forced to move to slums which had unhealthy living conditions. The amount of poverty increased so much that the death rate at the time surpassed the birth rate. Society did not know how to handle the advance in technology. Fast forward to today, and the same thing is happening with consumer technology. I conducted a survey with 13 people. The first thing I asked was how often you use electronics for entertainment. The answers provided were based on a certain amount of hours per day. About 25% of participants answered less than 5 hours, but more than 3. About 50% of them answered more than 5 hours. A study conducted by the Kaiser Family Foundation found people ages 8 to 18 spend more time on media than any other activity. The average for that age group was 7.5 hours per day. That is a lot of time per day, divided up into small intervals of which include checking your phone, watching television, playing electronic games, or just surfing the web. Much of that extra time that we have should be put into interacting with what is around us, if not, at least a social disconnection. Following the first question in the survey, I asked the participants, what % of relationships you maintain online? While almost all participants answered below 10%, it didn't seem indicative of what seems to be true. I then gave an interview to my sister who, like many of those participants, attends college away from home. I asked her if she feels negatively from that, and she answered, yes, she feels alone. I asked her how often she physically maintains her relationships. She said almost never. I asked her why she feels alone, and she said because she does not feel the same type of connection through online communication. A similar study was done at Ellen University. 100 students were surveyed on the negative effects of technology. 92% of those students believe technology has been harmful to communication. There are arguments that suggest social interaction has not been changed by the increase of technology. A major idea that supports the argument is that individuality has been the same for the last century. That individuality has always been a little egotistical. I came across an article that was trying to prove just that. The picture I'm about to show demonstrates the general sense of what I'm talking about. So in this picture, people are waiting for transportation. Notice in the top picture that people have their faces buried into newspapers, seemingly not caring to interact with one another. problem with this picture is that it's just a picture. It has no source. The argument has the same problem overall. There's not information to back it up, like this picture. It is more probable that there's a major headline in that newspaper than this picture being a representation of what the lifestyle was then. Individualism and technology have worked together to create our healthy nation, but the essence of individualism has changed. Individualism has been tainted by ego. The American culture especially is very, each man on his own in order to succeed. One has to work hard and make difficult decisions at the expense of others to advance one's own goal. It isn't like that across the whole board, but there is a strong sense of competition in America. Also, it is usually frowned upon to get assistance from others. For example, government assistance, or even at a workplace where you feel stupid for asking questions. In many ways, technology is contributing to that. It is contributing to the me attitude. With so much technology, it is easy to fall into it. Social media, for example, is widely used as a means to promote yourself to the world. A study done by Pair Analytics found that 40% of tweets are just pointless babble.
Is that all?
What?
Is it all the tweets that are just babbles, only 40%?
Yeah. And 80% of tweeters are people that just like to talk about themselves, trying to promote themselves to the world. The constant updates of what you have just eaten or places you have been is egocentric, honestly. Nobody is truly interested in every single detail of one person's life. It's different if you're just got a job right out of college and you want to post a picture about yourself, or yeah, it's different, but not all the time. Along with individuality, the meaning of communication is changing for the worse. So does anybody have any questions? Yes.
So what are you doing to change that?
Okay, so she asks, what do you have to do to change that? Like I said earlier, you have to create a balance. If you don't have balance, you're going to be taken by the effects of consumer technology. It's like with everything, not just technology. If there's a problem, you have to balance it into life. Anybody else? Yes.
How do you feel about that picture up there, like personally, about how people, at least back in the day, were reading newspapers, but now they're just playing on their phones? Like, what do you think about that?
You mean comparing the two?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think at the time I can't really say a lot about this picture. The photographer is unknown. The reason why it was taken is unknown, and honestly, there might have been a major headline in the paper, like I said. I mean, here it's apparent by, we all know everybody's always on their phone. If you're walking, people will actually look at their phone just so they don't have to look at you.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think that's right, and I don't think that's the case with the newspaper, honestly. They're just, I can't really say much about that.
Good answer.
So, in conclusion, as technology exponentially develops, the complications that succeed it will be disastrous. There's no physical way of dealing with the problem because it is not something that can be delegated to either legislators or activists. Like with any other social change, humanity has to be able to handle the repercussions, to balance it into life. Everyone has to be made aware that there is indeed a matter to be resolved. From that point on, we must consciously make an effort to either keep our healthy lifestyles or change the bad ones.
All right.